Our headlines for tonight: Progressive Groups announces Baha sa Luneta 2.0 set on November 30, calling for more aggressive accountability.
Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin denies resignation but insisted that he was told to go.
Congressman Paulo Duterte asks House investigation on Saldico's budget insertion allegations against President Marcos and former House Speaker Martin Romualdez.
Group of former government officials is eyeing for possible impeachment complaint against the chief executive.
And the United Nations Security Council favors the US-backed resolution on Gaza. Good evening, bringing you the latest news for tonight. I am ALVIN, PELOBELLO.
And I am KRIZZA Lopez. This is Eurotv News. Thread the details on our broadcast. Another groups have expressed their will to hold another round of protests, calling for more aggressive accountability against government officials involved in flood control scandal.
The Progressive Group called it Baha sa Luneta 2.0, set on November 30. Here's the report.
Duterte, walang pinag-iba. Parehong pura, mahirap sa masa. Lahat ng sagot, dapat managot.
The Baha sa Luneta 2.0 rally is set for November 30, 2025 is now all set, organized by various progressive groups. The Kilusang Bayan kontra Kurakot KBKK emphasized the slow pace of holding government officials accountable for the alleged theft of public funds, including calls to make President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and Vice President Sara Duterte answerable over issues raised by the groups. According to Kabataan Fortaleza Representative Renico, the groups decided to hold a second major rally in Luneta due to what they describe as an equal allocation for funds across government agencies, as well as the sluggish efforts to prosecute those involved in the corruption of flood control project funds.
At nakikitang walang pananagutan doon sa malaking kickbacks, yung hindi naman nakukuha sa mga serbisyo, yung taxpayers' money. Para sa amin, nakakagalit ito. Dahil bakit ba na may mga ilang buwan na sunod-sunod ang developments, ilang buwan na sunod-sunod na pinapakita na ang budget ay kinukurakot, napakaraming butas, pero wala pa rin ginagawa.
KBKK will start the official protest program at exactly 9 o'clock a.m. on November 30. Professor David Michael San Juan said they expect a larger turnout compared to the rally held on September 21.
Kaya wala pang nakukulong, hindi pa sila masyadong natatakot sa atin eh. 100,000 lang yung nagprotesta noong September 21. So yung naghahanap ng madaragdag, huwag ka na maghanap, ikaw na ang sumama, isama mo mga kapamilya, kaibigan, katrabaho mo. Bawat isa sa atin magsama ng 10, 20, 30. Ang katipunan nagsimula din sa ganong sistema.
They also assured the public there will be no violence during the protests after the stone throwing and gunfire exchange between protesters and police last September 21. Professor San Juan defended the protesters' action, saying the state has the actual capacity for violence while the public is only calling for accountability in corruption.
Hindi naman sa atin nanggagaling ang gulo. Alam natin kung sino ang nandadahas. Ang may kapangyarihang mandahas ay ang Estado. Sila ang nagbabanta, di ba? Sa simula pa lang. Kaya ang babalangan natin sa gobyerno ay huwag silang maghamon ng pandarahas sa taong bayan na ang hinahangad lang ay pananagutan o accountability.
Former Bayan Muna Representative Teddy Casino said KBKK aims for a peaceful protest and their stage will be remain open to anyone who wants to express their advocacies and struggles. He stressed that their demand for accountability is directed not only at President Marcos but also at the Vice President.
Pero dapat yung mga pupunta doon, alam nila tungkol saan yung rally. Ito ay rally ng pagpapanagot. So yung mga pupunta doon na ang linya nila, depensahan si BBM, bring him home, protektahan si Sara, medyo you will feel very awkward at siguro wag na kayong pumunta.
More than 3 months have passed since President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. during his fourth State of the Nation address lambasted officials allegedly involved in corruption within the flood control projects. His line, "Mahiya naman kayo," directed at those amassing billions from public funds, resonated deeply with the public. But now people are asking, why has no one been jailed, especially when several Filipinos have already died due to widespread flooding brought by powerful storms, disaster worsened by the alleged corruption in flood control projects. In the past 3 months, citizens have staged several protest actions to express their anger over the theft of public funds by infiltrated DPWH officials, lawmakers, and government contractors. This is KRIZZA Lopez for Eurotv News.
Just a day after he left the cabinet of President Marcos, former Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin recants the statement of Malacanang Palace that he resigned with delicadeza. Bersamin says he did not resign, but he was told to go. Here's the details.
Following the resignation of Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin and Budget Secretary Amena Pangandaman, Bersamin insisted that he did not resign from his post. According to the former presidential secretary, he was ordered to step down. Someone allegedly called Bersamin and said that he was informed to leave the position, but there was no clear reason why he was being dismissed. In a report, a similar scenario also happened to Budget Secretary Amena Pangandaban as to why she resigned. Bersamin, on the other hand, strongly denied the palace's statement that he had left the cabinet. The former secretary insisted that it was not true that he had resigned from his post and that he had not submitted a resignation. Bersamin vehemently denied the imputation against him linking with former Public Works Secretary Manuel Bonoan. This is in relation to the statement made by Senate Pro Tempore Ping Lacson, where former Public Works Undersecretary Roberto Bernardo allegedly named Bonoan and Bersamin regarding the alleged facilitation of the 52 billion pesos kickback from the government fund. Bersamin said he is ready to face any formal investigation but does not want it to be held in the Senate. This is ALVIN PELOBELLO for Eurotv News.
Former presidential son Congressman Paulo Duterte seeks House investigation over resigned Congressman Saldico's statement alleging President Marcos and former House Speaker Martin Romualdez in the budget insertion for the 2025 General Appropriations Act, the budget insertion amounting to 100 billion pesos. Mia Layagin tells us more.
Davao 1st District Representative allegations about the 100 billion insertion act and disclosures. And in the name of transparency, Duterte is now seeking a House investigation over these allegations that implicated President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and former House Speaker Martin Romualdez. Duterte filed before the House of Representatives Resolution number 488 requesting an urgent and comprehensive inquiry regarding the accusations. Duterte noted that cause implication that Marcos ordered the 100 billion pesos insertion is also an issue of possible undue influence on the legislative budget process. Among the allegations are Marcos' demand for a 25% kickback from the insertions, as well as the luggages of money said to be delivered to the President and to Romualdez. The Davao representative argued that if proven, these are extraordinary serious violations on the law and a betrayal of public trust. He added that the list of projects and contractors under the 100 billion pesos insertion released by CO should also undergo deep investigation. With this, Duterte asked the lower chamber to not overlook the sheer scale and details of cause allegations, as this is also a matter of transparency and separation of powers among the branches of the government. This is Mia Layagin for Eurotv News.
The Office of the Ombudsman says they have the motu proprio investigation against the chief executive following the videotaped statement of resigned Congressman Saldi Co, who recently named President Marcos and former House Speaker Martin Romualdez over the budget insertion, which the Ombudsman assures they will investigate the matter. Henry Nicolas reports.
The Office of the Ombudsman will reportedly investigate all the names implicated by former Ako Bicol Party List Representative Zaldico in his revelation video. According to Ombudsman Jesus Boying Remulla, they have a motu proprio investigation where even the president is being looked into. However, Remulla stated that Co must first substantiate his allegations for the investigations to proceed, saying that the claimed insertions in the budget allegedly ordered by the presidents are illogical. If Co is worried for his life, Remulla assured the former lawmaker will be protected once he decided to return to the country and swear the truth of the statements or revelations he disclosed. He said the claimed fear for his life is nonsense and Co is capable of hiring competent security. Remulla urged him to coordinate if he's really afraid for his life. Remulla emphasized that he needs alive witnesses. Despite this, he also mentioned why only Co is currently facing charges before the Sandigan Bayan. He explained that the accused cannot be charged all at once, and he maintained that more names will follow once there is solid evidence to implicate them. Meanwhile, aside from Co, the Discayas will be the next possible to face charges in connection with the flood control scandal. He said that some cases involving the couple Curly and Sara Discaya at the Office of the Ombudsman are now submitted for resolution and thus the filing of charges is expected soon. According to Ombudsman Remulla, the new cases may be filed this coming Friday. This is Henry Nicolas for Eurotv News.
Despite being linked for the budget insertion, the League of Cities of the Philippines remained confident for President Marcos's leadership, noting they shared views with the chief executive's call for transparency. Graciela Corazon has the details.
The League of Cities of the Philippines, or LCP, has reaffirmed its full support for the leadership of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. amid the allegations against the president. In a statement released by the LCP, it joins the president in his efforts for the further strengthen the local government units, or LGUs, particularly in the development of infrastructure, education, and health services in the country. It stressed the importance of the maintaining transparency and accountability in governance to ensure public trust. It is also said that its rank are ready for the main programs of PBBM administration, especially since they said that their only goal is to build a just, progressive, and stable country. Meanwhile, the LCP assured that it will remain a partner with the government in implementing reform that will benefit the people. This is Graciela Corazon for Eurotv News.
A group of former government officials is eyeing possible impeachment against President Marcos over the imputation on flood control scandal and anomalous budget insertion revealed by former Congressman Saldico. Mia Layagin returns for more.
Since former Congressman Saldico's confession videos, his revelations made the current flood control and budget scandal probe take a big turn. This is after co-implicated President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. as the one who ordered him to insert 100 billion pesos infra projects in the 2025 General Appropriations Act, or GAA. The already dramatic political crisis faced by the administration was also hit with presidential sister Senator Amy Marcos' statement over the president's use of illegal drugs. While these statements remain allegations, some former government officials believe that these can be grounds for a possible impeachment against Marcos. Attorney Manuelito Luna, former Presidential Anti-Crime Commission commissioner, noted that the president is not totally innocent with the budget insertion scandal as he has the last say over the national budget. Luna explained that the issue is not only the 2025 budget but includes as well the 2023 and 2024 budgets failed to be vetoed by Marcos.
Kasi noong 2023, 2024, and 2025 budgets na naging GAAs, maraming insertions doon irregular insertions. So, merong first insertion sa NEP, okay lang yon, regular yon. Pero may mga PICAM insertions, meron din insertion during the plenary sa HGAP crafting, amendments. So, hindi man lang binito ni President yung 2023 insertions and 2024 insertions. Hindi pwedeng magugas kamay si Presidente na wala akong alam because the budget, it takes him to scrutinize and to approve the budget and to veto. Hindi niya binito yung mga insertions na yon, yun ang kanyang pananagutan. Whether or not that is planderous It depends now kasi nasa pwesto pa siya, hindi pwede siyang kasuhan ng plunder. But for purposes of impeachment, impeachable siya because of the constitutional violation.
Former Secretary of the President on Political Affairs and ex-Negros Oriental Representative Jacinto Paras also said that Senator Imy's implications over his alleged drug use can be used as a ground for impeachment. Aside from that this is a betrayal of public trust, Marcos has an obligation to divulge to the public any issues regarding his health.
That issue has been denied already. Yung nilabas nila ni Maharlika, nila Harry Roque na video, there was deniability, pero mukhang in-appear ni Amy Marcos that his brother, since time immemorial, was already doing drug by drug addict. Kawawa naman ang bansa natin. Sino pang mag-invest sa atin? Sino pang titingala sa ating bansa?
Despite this, the group is still studying and evaluating when is the best time to file an impeachment complaint. They noted that filing an impeachment complaint requires deep study and analysis for it to prosper.
And some others, we are still thinking, we are not yet sure pa. Kasi we have to gather enough basis. Hindi ito basta-basta. From our experience with Bautista, we gathered, I think, this stick of documents, volumes upon volumes of documents before we filed it. Kasi it's not just filing. You have to be sure that it will merit attention of the House and it will prosper. Otherwise, sayang lang yung effort mo, magiging katawa-tawa lang. At saka, babalikan ka sasabihin na you're just harassing the respondent, wala ka palang basis.
So, this marami pa pong grounds. We have compiled siguro mga 20 grounds for impeachment. But we're just waiting for the proper time.
Likewise, they shall still consider the one-year bar period, citing Cavite 4th District Representative Kiko Barzaga's filed impeachment complaint against the President. It can be recalled that the Supreme Court declared impeachment complaint against Vice President Sara Duterte as void due to violation of the one-year bar. They are looking into communicating with Barzaga on whether he can withdraw the complaint and file a new one with them. While they still don't have an exact timeline for this move, they are eyeing to do it as immediate as possible given that there are only 2 years on Marcos's term as the president. This is Mia Layagin for Eurotv News.
With more than a month before the Christmas Eve, the Labor Department reminded the employer to release the 13-month pay of their employees before December 24th. Vanessa Cleofas brings us more details.
The Department of Labor and Employment or DOLE reminds employers that workers should receive their 13-month pay before December 24, 2025. According to Bureau of Working Conditions Director ALVIN, this is a strict directive from Labor Secretary Bienvenido Laguesma, which the agency will closely monitor. Curada said that all employees who receive a basic salary and under a rank and file are entitled to 13-month pay, which should be computed on a 1/12 basis of their total basic salary for the year. The year-end bonus covers employees who have rendered at least 1 month of service within the calendar year prior to distribution. Those who have resigned, retired, or terminated will still receive the Christmas bonus, which will be computed from the month they started working until the month they left. Meanwhile, DOLE clarified that the 13-month pay does not cover employees under personal service contracts or those who earn purely on commission. This is Vanessa Cleofas for Eurotv News.
The Philippine government expresses gratitude for G7 statement upholding peace towards an open and free Indo-Pacific region. Amid the more complex disputes in the South China Sea, the G7 expresses serious concerns to any attempt to destabilize peace and security in the region. Here's the details.
The Philippines acknowledged the statement made by the Group of Seven during the G7 Foreign Ministers meeting in Niagara, where the organization reaffirmed the importance of a free and open Indo-Pacific region anchored in the rule of law. And G7 strongly opposes the use of any force and coercion in the South China Sea. According to the Department of Foreign Affairs, the Philippines shares the G7 views on the importance of maritime security and prosperity for global stability, economic resilience, and order among all nations. This includes Manila's insistence on the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS. The DFA also said it joins the G7 in expressing serious concern over dangerous maneuvers, water cannoning, and obstruction to the free navigation of ships in the South China Sea. The DFA thanked the G7 for calling for security, stability, and prosperity in the region, including the South China Sea, and for emphasizing the importance of the 2016 Arbitral Award. The G7 said it strongly opposes the attempt to change the status quo through force and coercion, particularly in East China and South China Sea. Likewise, the recognition of the group of countries comprises of Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, United Kingdom, and United States on the arbitration award as the basis for the peaceful management and resolution of maritime disputes. This is ALVIN PELOBELLO for Eurotv News.
As part of the Bayanihan sa Estero program, the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority continues their ongoing cleanup drive, which aims to accumulate garbages across the region's waterways. Vanessa Cleofas returns.
The Metropolitan Manila Development Authority, or MMDA, continues its ongoing cleanup operations to remove accumulated garbage in canal that block the smooth flow of water. The goal is to expand the waterways across Metro Manila to help collect rainwater during the rainy season and prevent them from overflowing onto the streets, which causes widespread of flooding. This initiative is still part of the Bayanihan sa Estero program launched by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. back in August 2025. According to the MMDA, 31 canals have already been cleaned, and in the next 9 months, their target is to complete the cleanup across all of Metro Manila. Although the MMDA acknowledged that the cleanup efforts will also involve relocating some families living along the waterways, the relocation of affected residents is included in their program. Meanwhile, apart from local government units, the MMDA is also working with TUPAD beneficiaries from the Department of Labor and Employment, or DOLE, private sectors, and many others. It is worth noting that President Marcos stated that the Bayanihan sa Estero program is an important step for MMDA and will be part of flood control project to help reduce flooding. Previously, MMDA Chairman Romando Artes said that the agency has already been cleaning the canals, creek, and other waterways with the active participation of LGUs, barangays, communities, and volunteers. Currently, the MMDA has identified over 2,000 waterways, rivers, and open canals across Metro Manila. This is Vanessa Cleofas for Eurotv News.
With 13 favors, none against, and 2 abstain, the United Nations Security Council favors the U.S.-backed resolution on Gaza, aiming to impose security in the city and demilitarizing Gaza Strip. Son Santiago has the report.
The United Nations Security Council has approved a U.S.-drafted resolution legitimizing parts of the peace plan for Gaza. The adopted resolution passed with 13 votes in favor, none against, while 2 abstained. Under the measure, the UN formally supports 2 major elements of the plan. First, the creation of a transitional board of peace led by an international entity to be chaired by US President Donald Trump, which will oversee Gaza's rebuilding. Hamas will have no role in that governing body. Second, the deployment of an international stabilization force that will secure the area and ensure that Gaza is demilitarized. The resolution, however, does not explicitly order Hamas to leave Gaza. Trump celebrated the vote, calling it a historic moment, and expressed his excitement for more announcements in the coming weeks. On the other hand, the Palestinian Authority welcomed the decision, saying it is ready to take part in the transition process. Israel also gave their support, but its Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu took an even tougher stance. In several posts online, Netanyahu again demanded that Hamas should disarm. Days ago, he reiterated his opposition to a Palestinian statehood since the ceasefire commenced last October. Hamas, meanwhile, rejected some part of the resolution. The group reiterated that it will not disarm and claims the resolution does not meet the political and humanitarian rights of Palestinians, rejecting what they describe as an international guardianship mechanism of Gaza. For now, although the roadmap has been officially legitimized, raising uncertainty about whether the plan can be fully implemented is still a question. This is Son Santiago for Eurotv News.
American singer-songwriter Josh Groban is set to return in Manila for his Gems World Tour 2026. Sam Martos has the entertainment updates.
Get ready to tune again to his well-loved song because American singer and songwriter Josh Groban is returning to the Philippines for his Gems World Tour concert. In a social media post by Wilbur's Live, they revealed the official poster of Groban's upcoming concert, which is sure to captivate audiences in this coming Valentine's season. Groban is the voice behind popular songs such as You Raise Me Up, Broken Bow, Over the Rainbow, The Prayer, and The Impossible Dream. Aside from Manila, he will also visit other countries including Taipei, Singapore, Jakarta, Tokyo, London, Paris, Berlin, Bahrain, Dubai, and many more. It will be remembered that Groban last visited the Philippines in 2019 for his Bridges Tour concert. His concert ticket price ranging from 2,000 pesos up to 15,000 pesos and it will be available at all SM Tickets outlet. Meanwhile, Josh Groban's Gems World Tour concert is set to happen on February 18, 2026 at the SM Mall of Asia Arena in Pasay City. This is Sam Martos for Eurotv Showbiz News.
And that's the latest news for tonight. You may visit yourtvph.com for more news and information. Once again, I am KRIZZA Lopez.
You can also catch our live broadcast through our social media accounts and via Pinoy Stream channel. I'm ALVIN PELOBELLO. Thanks for joining us. This is Eurotv News Thread. Stay safe and have a good night, everyone.